Every 4 seconds, someone gets pickpocketed or scams. Don't be next. Learn these 11 cruise port safety tips now. Well, cruising is a dream vacation for many. Some cruise ports come with hidden dangers that could ruin your trip. From theft to unsafe areas, it's crucial to be prepared. I'm here to give you the insider safety tips you won't hear from the crew, because your shore excursions should be fun, not stressful. Stick around to discover the one tip that could save you from a costly mistake at your next port stop. Plus, I'll share what you should never do, no matter how tempting it seems. Let's get right into it. Be mindful of your belongings, okay? First things first, watch your valuables. It's easy to get distracted while enjoying the sights, but this is prime time for pickpockets. Use a money belt, use a crossbody bag, something that you can easily keep in front of you and be aware of it. Know where it's at. Avoid wearing flashy jewelry or carrying large amounts of cash. Keep your phone and wallet in zipped up compartments. Do everything you can to prevent somebody from just, bumping into you and all of a sudden your watch, your wallet, your keys, everything's gone. Research the port before you go. Not all ports are created equal. Yes, the cruise lines do their very best to make sure that they keep you safe while you're on board and when you're at the port. But once you go out beyond those port gates, they don't have a whole lot of control. Some of the ports you go to do have crime. Well, they all have crime rates. Some have higher crime rates than others. And some, while not necessarily high crime rates, but they're known for scamming tourists who aren't aware of their surroundings or, don't use common sense. So before you get off that ship, take a moment, do a little bit of research on the port, check for safety reviews, check for warnings from other cruisers, use resources like travel blogs, cruise forums, your cruise line safety advisory to get up-to-date info. Ask your travel agent. If you use a travel agent, ask them. So, what's going on in Jamaica? Is it pretty safe these days? Are there areas, neighborhoods we should avoid? Talk to them. Let them guide you, because they can either tell you from personal experience or they can reach out to their community of other travel advisors and find out, hey, I got, clients going on a cruise next week. They're going to St. John's. Areas they need to avoid, any known scams going on, what's the most up-to-date information? Help me out. Stick to well-trodden paths. When you get off the ship, you're likely going to be approached by a variety of local vendors and tour guides. While many of them are legit and just trying to earn a dollar, some can lead you into some unsafe areas. So stick to the main tourist zones and avoid venturing into unfamiliar back streets, isolated locations. If you're born and raised in the U.S. and if you've been anywhere near any decent sized city, you might not know it, but you really have enough common sense. If something feels wrong or something feels off, turn around, go back the way you came. Don't take a chance. If you're unsure about an area, ask the local authorities, ask the crew, the port staff for recommendations, okay? Always use official transportation. It might seem like a great idea to grab a local taxi or rickshaw off the street, but that could be a safety risk. Now, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of legit cabbies, plenty of legit rickshaw drivers all over the world. But if you're unfamiliar with the area, if you don't have a recommendation from somebody you know and trust, don't just, walk out the gates and, hey, yeah, you look good. Come on, take me here, there, or the other place. Don't do that. Your best bet is to use official cruise-approved transportation services, prearranged tours. Use their excursions, okay? These people have been vetted at least to some degree by the cruise line. And think about it, if, say you're stopping in St. Martin, okay? That cruise ship stops in St. Martin pretty much every week on the same day, over and over again. And if the excursion company screws up, guess who's not going to be getting passengers every Wednesday for the next 6 months? So they have a vetted interest in making sure you're safe and happy, okay? If you do decide to use a taxi, make sure it's clearly marked, clearly established as a legitimate taxi. Don't get into somebody's, Toyota Camry that's got rust spots all over. Keep a copy of your important documents in case you lose your passport, your ID, your cruise card while ashore. Make sure you have copies stored either in your cabin or on your phone, somewhere that you can get access to them. Take pictures of your documents, send them to yourself in an email or store them in a cloud drive. Don't just keep them in your phone, because if you're on an excursion and you lose your phone and the only place you have them is on the phone, well, guess what? Keep a list of emergency contact numbers, the nearest embassy, the 800 number for the cruise line, the cruise ship, things like that. 3 or 4 phone numbers, put it in your wallet, put it in your purse, just in case. You never know. Trust your gut. Your intuition can really be your best friend when it comes to safety. If it doesn't feel right, if something, you got this feeling that that something's a little bit off, trust that. Turn around and go back the way you came. Even if you've already given the person the money, even no matter what the situation, if it starts to feel wrong, let's say you decided to go with that guy in the Camry with the rust spots, and he takes you to a very popular tourist spot, but something about his demeanor, something about the way he's talking and the way he looks, something, it just doesn't feel right. You get to that tourist spot, say, you know what, we changed our mind, we're not feeling it, we're done, have a nice day, and tell them to leave. You're at a tourist spot, you can find a legitimate ride back to the ship. It's really that simple. If a local vendor or person's pushing you to buy something or go somewhere, that's a huge red flag. Walk away. Head towards a safe place, a public area. Be aware of your surroundings. Never walk around alone at night. A lot of the cruise ship port of calls end before dark. So on the ones that you are there late at night or overnight, it might seem tempting to explore a port after dark. You're in a foreign town, a foreign country. You don't know where the shady areas are. You don't know where things get sketchy. Don't do it. Don't walk around, even you and your significant other. Don't go in a small group like that. If you're going to want to do something at night, do a cruise excursion. Let them take you to where you need to go, enjoy it, and then bring you back to the ship. Always travel in groups. Yes, the cruise excursions are arguably more expensive, and yes, you are in larger groups of people, but that's a good thing in this situation. You don't want to be by yourself or even in a group of 2 or 3 people. To some degree, get to know the local laws and customs before you step off the ship. Just do a quick Google search, look for local laws, customs for the port you're visiting. Some places, simple gestures like tipping or taking photos in certain areas, while not necessarily always illegal, it could get you into trouble because in some parts of the world, a peace sign, what we here in the U.S. consider normal or no big deal, that is a bad sign. Let's put it that way. There are certain countries that you're not allowed to wear camouflage clothing. Shirts, shorts, no. If you get off a ship and you're wearing camouflage shorts, I can't even think of the names of there's a couple of countries. They will literally, before you walk through this gate, they're going to tell you to turn around and go back and change or to get back on the ship. They're not going to let you into town. Check with the crew, look at the cruise line app. Make sure you're aware of some of those local rules or local customs. Be aware of free offers or too good to be true deals. Just like we were talking about earlier with intuition. If someone offers you something free, it ain't free. Okay, even when you're on the ship and on the port brief, go stop in this store, you get your free charm. Yeah, okay. That's not really a scam. That you do get a free charm, but you got to go in the store. You got to listen to the salesman's spiel, and you got to listen to him or her try to sell you something else. So that's not necessarily a scam, but it doesn't cost money, but it does cost time. Common scams include free jewelry, souvenirs that eventually end up costing you more, being trapped into a forced tour that you didn't sign up for. The simplest way to do this: if somebody says there's a free offer, no, thank you. Turn around and walk away. And if it is something that you really want to buy, then negotiate with them. Tell them, no, I don't want the free offer. I want to pay you $5 or $10 for this, and that's it, nothing else. Okay. And if they're not willing to negotiate with you, if they're not willing to accept a fair price for what you want to buy, there's something going on there. Turn around and walk away. Don't flash your money around. Okay, when you're in a store or a jewelry store or a souvenir shop or whatever, don't pull out a wad of cash and peel off a 20 or a 50 or 100, okay? Showing large sums of money in public and foreign countries, just like showing large wads of cash in pretty much any inner city here in the U.S., it's going to get you unwanted attention. Okay. A lot of times what I will do is I will take 5 to 10 $1 bills, $20 in 5s, maybe $30 in 10s, and maybe a couple of 20s, depending upon where we're at. And I'll divide that up. I'll put, $20 in one pocket, and I'll put $20 in another pocket, and I'll put the rest, in my whatever carry-on bag I have. That way, if we're buying a $5, like a magnet, I'll pull out the $10 or the $20 out of this pocket, which will be, 5 1s and 3 5s, and I'll give the guy a 5. And yeah, he'll see I've still got $15 on me, but they're not going to roll me for $15. Now, if I pulled my whole wad of $200 out, they're going to roll me for $200. So just be aware of that. Separate your money, put it into different pockets, or depending upon where you're at and what you plan to do, don't bring any cash with you and just bring a credit card. Not a wad of them, not your whole wallet with 10 of them. Bring one credit card. I personally do not recommend that because a lot of times, the souvenirs you're getting, they're $5 or $10 and they don't accept credit cards, but also sometimes people will get rolled for a credit card. Now, I know people who do prepaid credit cards that have $100 or $200 on them, so that if they do get rolled, they don't get a lot of money. But I would only bring a limited amount of cash, and that's it. Slightly off topic, but not really. Stay hydrated. Protect your health. A lot of the cruise ports that we Americans go to are in the Caribbean, or they're in South Pacific, or Hawaii. They're hot. Okay, hot and sunny, which is beautiful, and it's great for your day out, but it also sucks the hydration right out of your body, especially those of us who like our drink packages. So you're already waking up in the morning somewhat dehydrated from having 2, 4, 8, 12 cocktails the night before. Bring a refillable water bottle. Fill it up right before you get off the ship. If you don't have one of those, grab 2 or 3 or 4 water bottles as you're getting off the ship. Wear sunscreen. Protect your skin. I'm from the northeast part of the U.S. That sun down there in the Caribbean, it's a lot stronger than it is up here in New Jersey. Okay, I don't wear sunscreen in New Jersey. For whatever reason, my skin, I don't need to. When I go down to Florida, when I go down to the Caribbean, I always wear sunscreen because I've gotten significant sunburn 4 times in my life, and all 4 times I was in the Caribbean. It's stronger. You're not necessarily aware of it. Wear sunscreen. Reapplied multiple times. Be mindful of what you eat and drink. Obviously, you want to go, check out local vendors, eat some of the local food. Arguably avoid street vendors because you don't know what their health requirements, their how clean they are in the preparation of the food. If you're going somewhere and you want to try some of the local flavors, some of the local cuisine, and you have food allergies or food restrictions, ask what's in it. Don't just, I'll be okay. Yeah, if you have, celiac, and you're intolerant of gluten, and you go and you have something that, in a local port that has gluten in it and you weren't aware of it, that's going to ruin the rest of your trip. Not worth it. Not worth it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the 11 essential safety tips to help you have a worry-free shore experience. Your vacation should be filled with fun, not stress, so make sure to stay prepared. Keep these tips in mind for your next port stop. Have you ever had an experience where you felt unsafe while ashore? Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. And if you find these tips helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more travel tips and cruise advice. Now that you know how to be safe in every port you visit, you're going to need to know about the best things to see and do in Nassau, which is one of the most popular cruise ports in the Caribbean, as well as the tourist traps to avoid. If you don't, you could find yourself wasting a lot of time and a lot of money on overpriced, underwhelming attractions. Don't worry, I'll show you exactly how to avoid these in this video right here.